Welcome back to RedPrabh, your movie explanation channel. Today, we're diving into the disturbing psychological horror film called Captivity. Released in 2007, this movie explores fear, survival, and the dark side of human obsession. With shocking twists and intense mind games, Captivity is not an easy watch, but it's a story worth understanding. So buckle up, stay till the end, and let's jump right into the story. The story opens in New York City, where a stunning model named Jennifer is busy with a photo shoot. She has no clue that somewhere far away, a mysterious pair of eyes is secretly watching her through a camera lens. The following night, Jennifer has an important event to attend. She calls her manager and says, "I don't think I'll be able to come today." But the manager firmly responds, "This event is extremely important. You have to be there." Jennifer is accompanied by her beloved dog, whom she loves more than her own life. As she steps out alone at night to attend the event, she suddenly feels like someone is following her. A chill runs down her spine, and she begins walking faster. She reaches a bar, but that same mysterious person is already there, once again silently watching her through his camera. Jennifer orders a drink, but the man secretly slips something into her glass. The moment she drinks it, she starts feeling uneasy and restless. Feeling uncomfortable, she quickly heads to the restroom and texts someone, saying, "I think someone is following me." When she walks out of the restroom, she notices a camera placed on a tripod, live streaming her movements. Before she can understand what's happening, someone suddenly strikes her from behind, knocking her unconscious. When Jennifer wakes up, she finds herself in a strange, unfamiliar room. At first, she assumes she might be with her team, but she soon realizes she is locked inside a small, confined space. Her screams echo throughout the room. Suddenly, a drawer opens. Inside, there is a glass filled with a drink and a note that reads, "Vitamins. Good for you." Jennifer becomes furious. She throws the glass onto the floor and begins smashing and tossing everything around the room, like a bird trapped inside a cage, desperately flapping its wings to escape. All of a sudden, a strange gas is released into the room. Jennifer stumbles as her breathing becomes heavier, and within moments, she collapses back into unconsciousness. Some time later, Jennifer regains consciousness again, but this time the situation is even more horrifying. She finds herself tightly restrained. She is then told that a deadly chemical will now be. Moments later, a strange liquid is poured onto her face, and she instantly loses consciousness. When she wakes up again, she sees bandages wrapped tightly around her face. Slowly removing them, she notices what looks like a burn mark on her skin. She touches it, but strangely, she feels no pain at all. That's when she realizes the wound isn't real. It has been deliberately staged. She peels it off completely. At that exact moment, another drawer slides open. Inside, she finds a key with a number engraved on it, along with one of her own magazines. As she opens the drawer further, she discovers a dress. She immediately understands that the kidnapper wants her to wear it, but she refuses to comply. Suddenly, the lights in the room turn blindingly bright, and the heat becomes unbearable. At the same time, an extremely loud, piercing noise starts blasting, so intense that it begins torturing her both mentally and physically. In pain, she rushes to the drawer, grabs the dress, not to wear it, but to rip it apart, and then hides under the bed. There, she finds a nail file and attempts to hurt herself, but the noise suddenly stops. Jennifer realizes the kidnapper doesn't want her to harm herself. Instead, she uses the nail file to try to loosen the air vent grill above the room. After struggling for a while, the grill finally comes loose, and she crawls inside, trying to escape. What she doesn't know is that the kidnapper has cameras everywhere and is watching her every move. Within moments, she is sedated again through an injection. When she wakes up, she finds herself tightly tied to a chair. The kidnapper forces her to drink a disgusting substance, clearly exposing his twisted and disturbed mindset. After that, he throws Jennifer back into her room. After some time passes, Jennifer realizes that someone else is in the room next to hers because a faint light is seeping through. Between them is a glass wall covered with paint. They write on the wall using their fingers to ask each other their names. There is also an air vent connecting the rooms, allowing them to talk. Jennifer learns that the boy's name is Gary. Just then, the lights suddenly go out. Watching them through his screen, the kidnapper knows that Jennifer is terrified of the dark. Gary takes out a matchbox and lights a match. Together, they begin. They begin scraping away the paint from the glass wall so they can finally see each other clearly. But it seems the kidnapper doesn't like what he sees. He enters Gary's room and injects him with a sedative right in front of Jennifer's eyes. Once again, a drawer opens inside Jennifer's room. Inside it, she finds a matchbox and a glass filled with sand. There is also a card placed inside the glass that reads, "The Hanged Man." Jennifer slowly reaches toward the matches, but before she can touch them, the kidnapper suddenly appears from behind and knocks her unconscious once again. This time, when Jennifer wakes up, she finds herself trapped inside a massive glass container that is slowly filling with sand. She immediately realizes that once the sand fills it completely, she will suffocate and die. Terrified, she screams at the top of her lungs, which wakes Gary up. In his room, Gary notices a card that reads, "Is she worth it?" He instantly understands that Jennifer is in grave danger. The vent grill on his ceiling has already been removed, revealing the only possible escape route. Without wasting a single second, Gary climbs through the vent and reaches the place where Jennifer is trapped inside the glass container. He grabs an iron rod lying nearby and smashes the glass with all his strength. Finally, the glass shatters, and he manages to rescue Jennifer. Panicked and terrified, the two of them run toward a garage where they discover a car. They decide to use it to escape this nightmare. But the moment they sit inside the vehicle, an unknown gas is released, and within seconds, both of them lose consciousness. When Jennifer wakes up again, she finds herself tightly bound to a chair. A gun trigger is placed in her hand, aimed upward at her beloved dog standing above her. Another gun is pointed directly at Jennifer's head. A timer starts ticking in the room, counting down every second. She realizes that if she doesn't shoot her dog before the timer reaches 0, the kidnapper will shoot her instead. To save her own life, with shaking hands and tears streaming down her face, she pulls the trigger. Her dog collapses. Jennifer's heart shatters, and she completely breaks down in tears. But moments later, she realizes it was all a cruel trick. Her dog is still alive. The kidnapper sends her back to her cell. Shortly after, another drawer opens inside her cell, containing a 4-digit key. She uses it to unlock locker number 4, which holds a dress inside. Jennifer puts the dress on, perhaps exactly what the kidnapper wanted from the beginning. Satisfied with her obedience, the kidnapper opens the door between the two cells, and Jennifer immediately rushes to Gary. Furious, Gary destroys all the cameras inside the cell. Enraged by this act, the kidnapper storms in with a gun in his hand and forcibly drags Gary away. Jennifer can now see Gary on the screen inside her room. She watches helplessly as the kidnapper prepares to kill him. She screams and begs, crying out, "Please don't do this." The kidnapper then drags Jennifer there as well and ties both of them to chairs. He plays a video showing a young boy being repeatedly abused, both physically and mentally, by his own mother. One day, when the boy's patience finally breaks, he kills his mother. The kidnapper reveals that he is that boy, now grown up. His traumatic childhood completely twisted his mind, and now he seeks balance by inflicting pain on others. After saying this, he prepares a machine to extract one of Jennifer's teeth. But before he can do it, Gary intervenes and pleads, "Don't do this to her. If you want, take my tooth instead." The kidnapper agrees, and the machine is moved toward Gary, violently pulling out one of his teeth. In the end, he sends both of them back to their respective cells once again. Jennifer is now deeply affected by Gary because he literally risked his life to protect her. From that moment on, an unspoken bond forms between them. Then, Gary quietly stands up. In his hand is a special card, which he places on a scanner. As soon as it is scanned, the front door slowly opens, and Gary walks upstairs. In reality, this entire mysterious setup is located in the basement of a house. And the entire twisted game had been orchestrated by Gary himself. The other man involved was actually Gary's real older brother. And the child shown in the video, the one who killed his own mother, that child was Gary. His brother had merely stood by and watched everything unfold. Now, the older brother speaks in a serious tone and says, "We have to get rid of that girl the same way we did with the others." But Gary shakes his head and refuses. "No. She's not like the others. She's different. I want to keep her alive." His older brother explodes with rage. He slaps Gary hard across the face and yells, "If I don't kill that girl today, we're going to be in serious trouble." Gary's face burns with anger. Without wasting a second, he silently picks up a knife and attacks his own brother. Severely injured, the brother loses consciousness. Gary drags him into the bathroom and hides him inside the bathtub. At that very moment, there is a sudden knock at the door. Gary quickly grabs a file, hides it in a safe place, and opens the door. Two police officers are standing outside, holding a photo of Jennifer. In a serious tone, they say, "We need to question your older brother about something." Gary calmly replies, "He's not home right now." Meanwhile, the officers say they would like to check the score of the game and walk inside. Gary seats them in the living room, turns the match on the TV, and heads toward the back. The game is playing when suddenly a commercial break appears. They change the channel, and by accident, it switches to the live screen where Jennifer is being held captive. The police officers see her and immediately recognize her. Before they even get a chance to react, Gary returns with a gun and shoots both of them. He then rushes toward the basement, where Jennifer is still locked inside. Gary opens the door and, with a trembling voice, says, "I killed the murderer. There were 2 of them. Now we can finally get out of here." They go upstairs, and Jennifer is horrified when she sees 2 dead bodies lying on the floor. They are the police officers, but Jennifer assumes they are the real kidnappers. She decides to call the police right away, but Gary stops her and says, "Not yet, Jennifer. Everything that happened between us is recorded on camera. Let me erase that data first." After saying this, Gary goes downstairs. Jennifer remains upstairs when suddenly one of the police officers Gary had shot earlier appears. He is still alive, but Jennifer believes he is one of the kidnappers, so she kills him. Now Jennifer only wants to escape from this place as quickly as possible. That's when she notices a cabinet slightly open. She slowly opens it and finds several files inside. One of them has her name written on it. As soon as she reads it, the truth is revealed. The real kidnappers were Gary and his brother. Together, they had murdered many people in this very place. Just then, Gary's brother, who was only injured, suddenly appears and tries to attack Jennifer from behind. But Jennifer, now alert and brave, kills him as well. She desperately wants to escape, but the entire house is locked. At that moment, the pager of a nearby police officer starts beeping. Jennifer checks it and realizes that they really were police officers, as they had proper identification. A moment later, Gary arrives with a camera and secretly records Jennifer, planning to frame her for all the murders. But Jennifer is now fully aware of everything. She calmly walks up to Gary and sprays pesticide spray directly into his face and runs downstairs to the place where she had been held captive. She hopes she might find something to help her escape, and there, she finds a gun. At the same moment, Gary reaches the room. Jennifer points the gun at him and tries to shoot, but the gun hasn't been reloaded. Gary survives and quickly snatches the gun from her hands. He reloads the weapon and is just about to kill Jennifer. Summoning her courage once again, Jennifer fights back, grabs the gun from him, kills Gary instead, and finally saves her own life while avenging everything that was done to her. After that, she walks out of the place at last. And with this, the movie comes to an end. If you are new to the channel, then definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, so that I keep getting motivation and I keep bringing the best videos for you all. Until then, bye.